The debut of the Wyatt Six on Monday Night Raw was absolutely incredible. But it's never the debut of these horror characters that leads to underwhelming results, it's always the booking that follows. So to avoid creative plans going all over the place, here's exactly how I would book Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six's first feud. So the first thing I want to mention is, what is it exactly that the Wyatt Six is in pursuit of? I generally don't believe it's championship gold or winning a lot of matches. I think they have a different goal in mind. And that goal is to destroy, very similar to what we saw on Monday Night Raw, but also to find those who are lost and bring them in. But there are also rumors going around right now that what happened to Chad Gable and the rest of the Raw roster that were all attacked and beaten up backstage actually didn't happen. It was all a part of some sort of alternate reality or some sort of vision that people were seeing of what will happen to those who betray the ones they're closest with, the ones they love. And that is specifically why they focused on Chad Gable that night, because Chad Gable had been constantly attacking and going after the Alpha Academy for so long, and now, boom, they finally leave him, but it was ultimately Chad the one who really betrayed them. So when we discuss the fact that they want to destroy and they want to bring in those people who maybe didn't have a place to go and are lost, it actually makes a lot of sense when you dig deep into each individual member. Dexter Lumis, aka the new Mercy the Buzzard, he was always thought of as a bit of an outcast. I mean, if you go back to his whole situation with Johnny Gargano and Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae and everything involving that, everyone always looked at Dexter like he was off. And eventually he was kind of just left to the side and he had nowhere to go. So he was found by Uncle Howdy. Joe Gacy has reminded a lot of fans of the original character that Bray Wyatt portrayed, which is Husky Harris, and that is why he is being displayed as Huskus the Pig. He's a bit of an outcast. He's pretty weird according to most of the NXT roster. They find him to be a bit strange, so he fits the perfect mold of exactly what Uncle Howdy is looking for: outcasts. Eric Rowan was the easiest person to bring in, as he was already a member of the Wyatt family previously, and if you go back to some of the old Uncle Howdy messages, he literally mentions that it was easy to bring Eric Rowan back because he was already a part of the family. He is portraying the character of Rambling Rabbit, bringing around the sledgehammer that Rambling Rabbit used to always get hit with. I know a lot of people wanted Alexa Bliss for this position, but let's be honest here. Nikki Cross is the perfect Abby the Witch / Sister Abigail. She plays the role perfectly. She used to be a part of Sanity, where she was the twisted sister. It makes too much sense, and she fits the perfect mold again. She was an outcast. She was betrayed. It makes so much sense that Nikki Cross would become a part of this faction, displaying the role of Abby the Witch. So the initial thought in my head is we are going to do a faction versus faction here, with the Wyatt Six facing another group that has the same numbers as they do, looking for particularly 4 males and 1 female. So the first major Raw faction that comes to mind is the LWO. Now I understand you see Carlito's hair hanging out from the side. I could not find a picture of the 5 of them without Carlito or Santos Escobar involved. So you may be asking yourself, okay, it's a 5-on-5 with 4 males and 1 female, sure, but does it even make any sense? It makes a lot more sense than you actually may think. Because Rey Mysterio actually has a lot more in common with what Uncle Howdy is looking for than you may believe, given the fact that he has been betrayed and left behind so many times, even by his own flesh and blood, his son, Dominic. It's not only Dominic, he's been betrayed by more flesh and blood like Eddie and Chavo. He's been betrayed by friends like Carlito, Santos Escobar, Batista, you name it. Rey might actually be the problem now that I think about it. He's been portrayed as a deadbeat dad, and honestly, I think this is the perfect opportunity for Uncle Howdy to step in and say, Rey, you no longer have to feel like you have to provide for everybody else. You have to mentor Dragon Lee. You have to mentor the rest of the LWO. No. Come join me and I will help save you. Obviously, Rey is way too honorable to agree to that, so he decides, no thanks, I'm good. But of course, the Wyatt Six is not going to just let that occur. So slowly but surely, they will be taking out the members of the LWO. So let's start with the 2 members on the ends here, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. This is going to be a tag team match between the 2 and probably the Judgment Day, just because that's the current feud they got going on, even though I don't think the Judgment Day is going to have any sort of involvement with the Wyatt Six. I expect them to have a tag team match. And at the end of the match, the Judgment Day get the win. All of a sudden, the lights go out and boom. Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, aka Mercy the Buzzard, and Huskus the Pig will be standing in the ring, and they will take out the 2 members of the LWO. The lights go out and poof, they're gone. I understand the supernatural stuff like the poof and they're gone. It doesn't always go over well in WWE, but just trust me, bear with me here. So Zelina Vega is going to start panicking backstage, wondering where are they, where did they go, oh my god, we need to go find them, and Rey needs to keep her calm, telling her you need to focus on your Women's World Championship match you have upcoming with Liv Morgan at Money in the Bank. That's a little bit of predicting. It's not really my prediction, I've seen plenty of people predicting it, but yeah, so I expect Zelina Vega to be having a one-on-one with Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. She's panicking because of everything that occurred, and now she needs to focus. Now, maybe we could talk about the mind games being the reason that she loses, but I think Liv just needs a clean 1-2-3 win in this situation. So yes, I expect Liv to get the win, and at the end, Zelina Vega to be in the middle of the ring crying when boom, Abby the Witch, aka Nikki Cross, makes her way to the ring and takes out Zelina Vega. The lights go off, they come back on, and they are gone. And then there were two, as Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee will be the last two members of the LWO standing, having some sort of pep talk backstage, trying to figure out how they can get away from the Wyatt Six trying to take them out. Now, of course, this is going to leave the last one. Dragon Lee is going to have a one-on-one match later with, let's just say, Carlito of the Judgment Day. Again, let's just say the feud with the Judgment Day keeps going. So Dragon Lee is going to have a one-on-one match later, to which Rey is going to assure Dragon Lee that he will be ready to protect him, so not to fear. Dragon Lee will be heading to the ring for his one-on-one match with Carlito. It'll be a good match, and then towards the end, the Judgment Day will come out to help out Carlito, as they always do, but then Rey Mysterio will make his in-ring move, and he will attack the Judgment Day, taking him out. But instead of staying with his friend Dragon Lee, he continues to pursue the Judgment Day to try and take them out. When the lights go out and when they come back on, Rambling Rabbit, aka Eric Rowan, is standing in the middle of the ring where he will take out Dragon Lee. The lights will go off and then come back on, and they will both be gone. So Rey, left emotional with no one, now has no idea what to do when Uncle Howdy enters the ring and once again extends his hand to Rey Mysterio, asking him to join him so they can save him. Rey obviously slaps his hand back, screaming that he took everyone and everything and he was gonna fight him and take it all back. So he challenges Uncle Howdy to a one-on-one match at whatever pay-per-view is going on at that time. So Uncle Howdy will accept, and I think it's important that this match is a Hell in a Cell match to once again pay homage to Bray Wyatt and try to right the wrongs that WWE did to Bray Wyatt by giving him the worst Hell in a Cell ending ever. Now, of course, Uncle Howdy is going to win this match, but the of crucial importance moment here is that he is going to hit a Sister Abigail to win it, once again paying homage to his late brother Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace. He will hit the Sister Abigail, he'll get the 1-2-3, and then after the match is over, maybe even use the Mandible Claw to take out Rey Mysterio. The lights go off, they come back on, and both of them are gone. I think the LWO has kind of ran its course up to this point anyway, so I think you could actually write them off TV until we eventually get to the Royal Rumble, where they'll all make their big return, specifically Rey Mysterio. And yeah, I think this is actually a really good moment because we could finally start taking apart some factions that I feel like WWE has way too many factions right now. But the overall importance of this here is to write Uncle Howdy in a way that doesn't just make him some spooky, creepy, evil character, somebody who is a manipulator. And we know that Triple H has written a lot of characters so far that are manipulative in their own ways, Karrion Kross being one of them, trying to manipulate Xavier Woods, and even Chad Gable manipulating his own members of Alpha Academy. I think this would be the perfect feud for Uncle Howdy to start with, and obviously the Wyatt Six needs to be booked very strong. They may not be involved in any matches here, but like I said, I think there's a little bit more to them than just competing in wrestling matches. When you have a supernatural character like this, having them just compete and destroy other members in matches in organized combat, it just kind of feels wrong. Uncle Howdy being the only one to do that early on is totally okay in my eyes, but if we start just booking them in tag team matches, it's like, why are these supernatural characters conforming to the rules of a match? Why don't they just go crazy? Because especially with the way these characters debuted, they debuted by destroying the entire Raw roster, destroying backstage. To expect that they would conform to whatever rules of a match would be, it just makes no sense. Plus, they're these spooky horror characters that it doesn't make sense to have them in typical standard one-on-one combat or even 2v2 combat. The only one that actually makes sense with is for it to be Uncle Howdy, because Uncle Howdy is the manipulator. He's the one trying to bring someone in. He's trying to bring Ray in. So in order to bring Ray in, he's going to face him in a match so Ray feels more comfortable. That's how I would book the initial first feud of Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.